Hi everyone, welcome back to another cut above with Chris. Going to do a face shave. Wasn't going to do a face shave. I just feel I need to do something to get my mind off things. I've just been down to the vet, spoke to the vet, and our blood tests aren't good. There's a lot of things that are really high, would suggest pancreatic problems, liver, kidneys. We really don't know. So she's going in for an ultrasound on Monday morning. She is 10 now, and she's never had an issue up until this year. So it's quite hard to swallow sometimes. You act all tough in front of your kids when there's something going on, but I tell you what, it eats you up inside. Right, I'm actually using a sample today. I don't even use samples normally, but these ones are well packaged. They're good sized samples, and I love the scent of them. First one is the Club Kirsch Bourbon. This is made by Van Heuvel, so I'm just going to grab that. Now I love the packaging. It for a sample anyway, other than tubs. It comes in a little clip seal bag, but then it also comes in between a little sleeve like that, so when you open it up you got your soap, and it smells lovely. The scent doesn't smell tarnished by anything, it smells like a new scent to me, so I'm literally going to break half of this off, which is way more than what you need for a shave, but I don't go well with samples. I struggle with samples. I don't think they give you a full representation of a soap at all, but let's just see what we can do. I've never used the Van Heuvel soap, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to use these samples as well, because things like this are quite hard to come by over here unless you're loaded and can afford to go out and buy every soap. Oh, under the sun. Now, I'm just going on the name and the picture, cherry and bourbon. Scent wise, I get the cherry. I can smell alcohol, but it doesn't smell like bourbon. But then again, I'm not a drinker of bourbon, I've never liked it. I'm a Scotch man, I'm from Scotland, and as far as I'm concerned it's sacrilege to drink any other whiskey. So, there we go, Kirsch Bourbon. Now, I'm going to use the Wolf Whiskers Ultra Fan. It's in Peter Rowe's version of lime. It's the Becky top with the Iliad bottom. And then as you can see I've got fluting there as well, 7 flutes. I'm going to be using a bit of a crazy razor today as well. Not something you would expect from my channel. Certainly something I would never use. If I seen this in the shops, I'd never buy it. Let's just say that. So here we go. Straight in with the. I flicked out most of the water, but there's still some water left in the brush. And I'm going to need more. May as well just fill the bowl up with a bit of water first off. I have just watched the Stallion use Van Heuvel as well. I'm just about to sit down and watch Stephen the Suffolk Shaver. Don't know what to do with myself today. Cancelled all my jobs. Head's just not in it. Probably play football tonight, because football allows me to sort of get things out of my mind and sort of defunk the brain a bit. Yeah. You guys out there that don't have pets, you've got no inclination to ever have dogs or cats or anything, you don't really. If you got kids you would sort of understand. I mean, they're my kids, the dogs as well. You know, you have them from pretty much the day they're born, and they go through everything with you. Unlike humans, they're generally always there for you as well. In fact, in some ways I find them more humane than what humans are. This is actually whipping up really nice lather. I watched Nara Shaves as well, watched his live video where he pretty much finished his shave and is about to leave and starts getting his comments. That's quite funny how long his video lasts after that as well. It's on for another sort of 10 minutes I think. The scent, certainly it's a pretty good scent strength. I'd say probably around about 4 or 5. I'm not sure how strong these scents are in general. Like I say, the problem with samples is I don't think you ever get the full hit of the scents, the full hit of the quality or the performance. And there's no guarantee that in that little sample that I've got every single little part of the soap as it is in the big tub. Right, that's taking a bit longer than I thought. I'm not finished with it yet. I'm going to add a little bit more water once I get it on the face as well. I've got less than 24 hours growth. I wasn't going to shave today at all. Like I say, I'm just doing stuff to try and take my mind off of stuff. You know what? I'm not even going to mess with that. That lather looks lovely. Lovely sweet scent. Bordering on a sort of gourmand sort of scent. I can feel it fizzing a little bit on my face. I wonder. As you can see, this brush splays super easy now compared to when I first got it. Right, the razor is the Gillette Gillette, which is a single edge, cheap, nasty, horrible razor. I'm really not looking forward to this, but who knows, it might be a great shaver. It just flops around, there's no spring or anything in the pivot, it just moves. You can actually take the head off. So I'm assuming this is a sort of, almost, it's not a disposable in a sense. Right. Let's see what this feels like. Well, it's certainly not tuggy. Feels alright actually. It reminds me a bit of the one blade, the noise it makes. Now, I'm not 100% sure on these razors, but I'm pretty sure that I think they're made in India. Or they're made for the Indian market. It feels alright. Certainly smooth. I mean, I've got no idea on a price point for these, but they're not going to be a lot of money. Crazily enough, this actually feels better than the 4-blade razor that I used, I don't know, probably 3 months ago or so. Feels better than that. I mean, it's a chunky big egg, single blade, technically a single edge razor, I suppose. Right. Now this is what I'm talking about with samples. I've never used a manually soap, so I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I can tell you right now there isn't a lot of slickness, and I'm pretty sure there would be out the tub, because they get great reviews. And, you know, it doesn't work for everyone, it could be the hard water here, but I find this with most samples. There's very few sample soaps that I use, including samples that I've used where I've had a big tub of the soap and I've also had a sample of the same brand, which will be the same formula, and the sample doesn't perform like a tub, just doesn't. Right, I've just wet my face. Just try that. My face is still wet. It is just juddering along there. So it's bit of scent on this one for a change. Give it a sample. It's really nice. I can smell it. It smells pretty much what the picture says and what the name is. I can smell the alcohol. I can't really smell bourbon, but I can smell alcohol with that sort of alcohol-y scent. I'm not expecting this. To use closer shave as a DE for some reason. I do feel pretty safe with it though. I don't feel like it's going to cut me. One thing's for sure, it's very light. You sort of in two minds to give it a bit of oomph. I haven't been, I've been using it very lightly. Right, let's see the slickness. Not putting a lot of water on, like I used to, but not anymore. That's certainly better. That's built up heaps just in that one pass. A lot of that's a lot better. That to me feels now like a, I don't know, it's still juddering. It just seems to dry up really quick, I don't know. Yeah, it could be the plastic razor, to be honest. It's actually catching on my skin more than what the metal would. Right. You can see the massive splay on this brush as well, it's enormous. Definitely this one in particular would be a great step into synthetics for someone that's a bow user. Because it's got great backbone, great scrub. It's also got that massive splay that you would come to expect from a big bow brush. Right. Rinses out pretty good. It's alright, it's pretty good. It's not as comfortable or as enjoyable as a single edge razor or a double edge razor, but it's better than a cartridge razor, I think. I feel like I've got a little bit of irritation, but more probably maybe just pushing a little bit hard on the skin. Nothing really to do with the razor itself. Post shave feels reasonably moisturised. It feels like my skin doesn't feel dry. Feels pretty good, and that's a close shave for me. That's a really close shave for me, and I don't think I've really got much irritation, which is great. Thing is with Chesil, peach schnapps, bourbon, just to stick to the alcohol thing. Beautiful. There's not a lot of burn there, which for me is a sign that I don't really have any irritation or any real irritation. I can feel a little bit of burn, but nothing major. I'm quite happy with that. Right, while that's drying in, I shall empty the brush out. I'll just show you what's left in the brush as well. So still beautiful, thick, creamy lather. Super stuff. And it does, I can actually smell the alcohol in it. Like I say, I couldn't tell you, if you gave me that, I could probably pick the cherry, but I wouldn't have picked what alcohol it was. I could have said there was an alcohol scent in there, but I wouldn't really have known. The Kilted Tiki by Tiki Soaps. Now that one, I can smell the scotch. It's got scotch whisky in it, and I can smell it. It actually smells like scotch. I find with bourbon, I can never really pick that scent, but like I say, it's not something I've ever really drank before. That's a really good shave, actually. I'm quite surprised. I'm very surprised by this piece of junk. So the soap today was Kirsch Bourbon by Van Meulen, exclusive for the club. I'm not sure whether you can still get this or not, but that's obviously from Peter Charkalis Business the Club. Lovely scent. It performed pretty well. Residual slickness wasn't great, and I can only imagine using the full size tub it would be better. And that's just my view on the old samples. I know some people want to use samples to determine whether they want to buy a soap or not. I just don't think it's a great way of doing it. Especially if you've tried the soaps. Say for instance you've got 4 or 5 sterling soaps, and then you want to just try a different scent. That's fair enough. That's fine. You know how good the soap is then. But for instance, I've never used Van Meulen soaps, and the residual slickness isn't the best, so I probably wouldn't use it for a head shave from this sample. Now, if I used it from the tub, I'd be pretty certain it'd be a better, or a not completely different outcome, but probably similar to what I got, but I would get a better residual slickness most likely. So it's all personal viewpoints and everything, but that's just my way of looking at it. A sample can sometimes give you the wrong view of a soap. But let's say if you've used a company before and their soaps, you know what to expect. So if you're just looking for scents, by all means shoot. I just think if you're going to do it that way, I don't know whether it would be easy or not, but to actually, instead of sending out a sample of the soap with a scent in it, send out a sample of the scent just on a stick so you can smell it. If you like the smell of it, buy the soap. If it's a new company, it's hard. Everyone's different, everyone's views on it are different. I've just not really had, I can't really think of a soap sample that I've used that's blew me away. Probably the only one I can really think of in recent memory would be the Holy Call Monaco Royale, which it was exceptional for the scent and the performance on it. And the other one would probably be K Shave Works Strop and Bourbon. It was the same great scent from the soap, and the performance was there again, and it didn't react to my skin, which was nice. But it's just it's all a guessing game when it comes to samples for me. I just sometimes don't think you get everything in that sample that's in the big soap. Wolf Whiskers 25mm Black Wolf Ultra Fan. Absolutely beautiful brush, really is. Peter Wolf really knows his stuff, makes beautiful brushes. Gillette Guard, not the Pro Guard, not the Flash Guard, not the 25 blade guard, just the Gillette Guard. piece of junk plastic with one blade and a plastic runner, and it works pretty good. I've got no weepers, no cuts, no creepers, nothing at all, and I've got a pretty close shave, you know. I'm not, do you know, I'm definitely as close as a DE. I might even be closer, if I'm honest, and I haven't had any irritation. Did I enjoy it? Not really. It's just something about it holding a nice bit of refined machine work and metal in your hand with a double, I don't know what it is, but that there, for a value razor, if that's all you can afford, I would take that any day of the week over a Mach 3 Fusion, anything. That's one of the best disposable razors I've ever used, surprisingly. And finished off with Thayer's Peach. Nearly smashed my aftershave. I'm just going to stick to the alcohol again. Colonel Conk Ichabod Bay Rum, which smells like bay rum. Clovey, rummy. I don't think it smells as nice as the Captain's Choice. Not much sting, but it's actually a nice sting. I don't know. You can never describe the burn or a sting of an aftershave until you use it. But the Thayers, certainly the Peach and Medicated, and possibly the Lemon, seem to take most of the sting out of my skin before I apply any aftershave splash. I'll probably put a moisturiser on later on, but other than that, I'm reasonably happy with that. I've got quite a bit of irritation just here. I don't know whether you guys can see that redness under it. I mean, that's BBS here, but a bit of irritation there, and I've got a little bit, it's just a little bit inflamed here, but other than that, pretty happy with that. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.